Hello all, in this video we will see incremental load in Informatica. So to begin with, we will just see the brief overview of data warehouse. This is very generalized overview of data warehouse, wherein we have ODS table. From ODS table, data goes to staging tables. So the data load between ODS table and staging table is always a truncated load, but in very rare cases wherein particular table is having crores of data, so in that case only the load type will be incremental load. Otherwise most of the cases data load between ODS and staging table will be truncated load. After that, from staging table to the dimension tables, always the load type will be incremental load. So that particular load type will be always based on the last update date column of staging table. So same column name will be available even in the ODS table. So basically there will not be any structural difference between ODS tables and staging tables. If you see, this is the example of staging table and dimension table. Over here, if you see, these are the staging table columns. Same number of columns you can find in dimension table also. Apart from that, there are some extra columns at dimension table. This particular column we can call it as a surrogate key. So basically this is a primary key or unique key, you can say, in the dimension table. And these last three columns, basically these three columns are getting used at the time of the last three columns are getting used at the time of SAD2 type implementation. So we will not verify the use of these three columns, as our intention of this video is only the incremental load. So also the main important table is the DW jobs table. Basically DW jobs table will store the execution time of any particular mapping. So DW jobs table basically has entry of each and every mapping which we run to load the data from staging to dimension, and that particular mapping's last completion date will be stored over here. So we will start with mapping creation. So over here our source table will be DWOP source staging. Our target table will be the dimension table, that is DWOP as source dimension. We'll see the data first, how the data looks like. So you see here, so this is our data at staging table, and this is the last update date, this is the GS update date. The date signifies at what time this particular record got added. So this particular record got inserted or created at 1st January 2009. So what we'll do is, on the basis of this particular date, we'll pick up the record. So our source qualifier query will be like we'll create a source qualifier query first. So first we'll understand the use of, or why do we require incremental load actually. So in this, Suppose this particular record got added as 1st January 2009. So on 2nd January 2009 there will be another record got added. So 1st January 2009's job will insert this particular record to the dimension table. When new record comes in on 2nd January 2009, our intention is our source qualifier or mapping should not pick the old record which already got inserted to the target table. So we should have particular restriction so that we can only pick the latest record and we can avoid the record which already got inserted at the target table. So to implement that thing, we require the time or the last date when that particular record got loaded. So as we are storing the job timing at DW jobs table, what we'll do is we'll write a query by which we can select only the latest records. So the query will be like this. So we'll select only those records of staging tables which are greater than the last executed date of our mapping. So this particular inner query will give the latest execution of particular mapping, and all records which are greater than this particular date will be our latest records. So same query will copy at our source qualifier query. So it gives we'll copy this SQL and we'll run this SQL at code level, Oracle level, and we'll see what results we are getting. So as of now we are not getting any results because at DW jobs table the last successful date is 8th of January, and in staging table the last record update date is 1st January. That's the reason this record is not getting picked up. What we will do is we will truncate this table as of now. We will insert the record again. Query should give result, so it's giving the results now. Only remaining task is to connect the ports. As TWS resource ID, this particular column is unique column or primary key column, so we will add sequence generator transformation. Also we require PS update date as is date. We have done with the mapping creation. We will save the mapping. Mapping is in valid status. We will create a workflow. Link the task, validate the connections. fine. Save the workflow is also in valid status. Run this workflow. So it's running currently. So if you can see here, source qualifier read one record and same record got inserted into dimension table. See whether the record is equally got inserted in dimension table or not. So you can see there is one record got inserted at dimension table which is having the same GS update date. What we will do now, suppose we'll add one more record at source table. We'll change the name. This particular record, let's say, got inserted on 1st January 2012 and so now our source qualifier we have two records. So basically our source qualifier should return only the latest record, that is the second record, because first record already got inserted. We'll run this source qualifier and we'll see whether it's returning one record. So if you see, it's returning two records. That's because our source qualifier query, inner query, is returning last successful completion date as 1900, whereas it should be 2009. So the thing which we missed out over here is we haven't updated the DW jobs table. So always when we are doing incremental load, we should have one more pipeline which will update the DW jobs table. So we'll add DW jobs table as a source. We'll add DW jobs table as a target. And we will add one expression. So in DW jobs table source qualifier, we will select only that record with the same mapping. So we need to select only a particular record of this mapping. For that, we'll copy this condition. So this source qualifier will only return records that belongs to values that belongs to map and incremental load. Only particular record will update with latest date. So over here we'll add Tuesday. As we have to update the record, we'll change the load type to update from insert. Target level update. Target level also we will see update also insert. Update also insert. We'll run the workflow and we'll see. So as currently the source qualifier is returning to record. So basically we run the workflow right now, it will return 2 records. So what we'll do is we'll delete the second record as of now. Right now we'll truncate the target table also. Qualifier query, so it's returning only 1 record. So if we run workflow right now, it should insert 1 record at target table. We'll see whether it's. So if you see over here, source qualifier query has returned 1 record. Same record got inserted at target level. Source qualifier query of DW jobs returned 1 record, and some record got updated at target table. So we'll verify it once. So DW jobs, so this particular column got updated with current date, that is 8th of Jan 2009. We'll see a target table. So see over here, 1 record got inserted, and the GS update date for it is 8 Jan, that is the current date. So now we'll add 1 more record at target table. Now we run the source qualifier query, it's returning only 1 record. That's because last completion date at DW jobs table is 8th of Jan, and at our source staging table, the record which we have added is having the last update date as 1st Jan 2012, which is obviously greater than the 8th of Jan 2009. So if we run the workflow now, it will insert only 1 record. So one record got inserted, we will verify whether target table is having 2 records or not. So if you see target table is having 2 records, the JES update date of both the records is different. So there is a difference in the time. So after 2 minutes, second record got inserted. Now if you run this source qualifier query, still it will give 1 record. That is because the last GS update date of staging table is quite high, that is 1st Jan 2012. So this is how we will implement the incremental load at Informatica between the staging table to dimension table load. So only 2 things which you always have to take care at incremental load is you have to fail the session as and when fail the whole workflow as and when there is an error in session. So yeah, basically you have to select fail parent if parent does fail, and also at the time of error stop on errors. So always you have to give it as 1. So in case if any error comes or if any data goes in the reject, the whole session should get failed, and if session gets failed, whole workflow should get failed. The second thing is your DW jobs updation pipeline has to be always at last. So just verify at mapping target load plan, this pipeline which is updating the DW jobs table has to be always at last. Thanks for watching this video.